Are you going to Bali soon? Planning a holiday, a vacation? Do you like to fast track in the airport as fast as you can? Skip any lines or queue ups. Try and get through there faster if you can. Do you like to save time and avoid hassle, particularly at airports and immigration through arrivals? There are 3 things you can do before you go to Bali so that when you arrive at Denpasar airport, you can get through faster with less hassle. What do you reckon? Hi, I'm Linda. I'm here as a travel guide to help you to plan better for a better travel experience. Travel better. There are 3 things you can do before going to Bali to speed up moving through that airport on arrival. Before we get to the 3 things, you need to have a passport that's current and valid for at least 6 months after your departure from Bali. You need to have already booked your flights and booked your accommodation. Flights in and out of the country, and know exactly where you're going to stay. First, apply for your visa on arrival online. Yeah, visa on arrival means you get your visa on arrival, right? But now you can apply for that online before you go. If you're going to Bali, Indonesia, it's best to apply for your visa on arrival online before you go. It's going to be faster for you when you get to the arrivals airport. When you arrive at the airport, you can go through the e-gates, the electronic gates, instead of queuing up in a long immigration queue to apply for your visa on arrival and pay that and do all that when you get there. You can go through the self-serve e-gates. It's much faster than lining up at immigration to get that visa on arrival and do it manually when you get there. When applying online, you need to have your passport, your flight information and your accommodation information, and you need to have a selfie photo of yourself in an image file like a JPEG, and you also need to save that into a PDF document. So fill out the application online, give your flight details, accommodation, or it will ask for exactly what flights in and out, it will ask for where you're staying, and it will link this to your passport. So when you get to the e-gates, scan your passport, it will read your passport and it will read your visa on arrival information electronically. So when you fill out all the information online, then you just pay for it. E-visa website, click apply, choose the country for your passport, the purpose of your visit, general, family or social or otherwise. And the sub-purpose of your visit, tourism, and then the type. So B1, tourist, visa on arrival. Staying for 30 days for visa on arrival as a tourist. And then it will show you the rules. The cost will be 500,000 rupiah. The first page that will come up here is you need to upload a scan of your passport and photo. When you click next, then you enter the details of when you're arriving, where you're staying, your name, passport details, all that, and then go through the payment. After you've made the payment and that's been processed, you'll be given a link to download the visa. When you arrive at the airport and you go to the electronic gates, you'll see big signs. There'll be a sign to go for manual immigration or for the smart gates. They're lit up in green, so just look for the signs. When I arrived, the manual was off to the right and the smart e-gates were veered off to the left. When you get to the self-serve e-gates, you place your passport on the glass into the reader and just wait. It actually takes longer than you think. There's a little screen that says processing, and you wait and you wait. And some people were just going, yeah, this is not working, and they just pull their passport off again and wonder why they can't get through. Hold it there and wait. It takes longer than you expect, so just wait. If it keeps saying processing, just keep waiting. It hasn't told you a no yet. And then you can go through. It does take a little bit longer than you expect. So it's still working. Just keep holding it there and keep waiting. It's worth it. I'll put the links to the websites below in the description. That will help you. Second, obtain and pay for the new tourist levy in Bali. If you're going to Bali, it's best to pay the tourist levy online before you go. The new tourist levy came into place in February 14, 2024. It costs 150,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about $15 Australian. When I went to Bali in June 2024, they weren't checking for this at the airport, although it is linked to your passport electronically. And I did go through the e-gates with my electronic visa on arrival and electronic passport. But they weren't checking for the tourist levy as yet. I have heard that they're going to bring that in to check that at the airport sometime soon. So the tourist levy is 150,000 Indonesian rupiah. Pay tourist levy. Select the currency you're going to pay in, select your payment method, then give your full name, email, passport number and arrival date. When you hit submit, it will process that payment. When the payment goes through, it will send a copy of the levy voucher to your email. Make sure you have this email when you are travelling in Bali. But they have been doing random checks on tourists for the tourist levy at tourist destinations, at really popular tourist spots. They're checking if tourists have paid that tourist levy, and you need to be able to produce the evidence of that whenever you get asked. And you might be just down the beach or checking out a temple, at a waterfall, and they're going to ask you for that tourist levy. If you haven't paid it, you're going to have to pay it there and then. So pay the tourist levy before you go to Bali and have the evidence of paying for that levy easily accessible. So you have the evidence in an email, grab a screenshot so it's quicker to get out of your photos, and have a printed copy of that so it's really easy just to pull out your bag and go, hey, yep, here it is, I paid it. So the tourist levy is a really good thing to help the province of Bali make a better experience for tourists. Bali relies on tourism and they want to look after us really, really well. So I'm so happy to pay tourist levy as a tourist for a better experience and to help support them so that we can go and have an amazing holiday and enjoy it. So have that evidence readily accessible just in case you can't access the digital one online at the time when you get asked for it. Have a paper one or a screenshot ready to go. Plan ahead for a better experience. I'll put the links to the websites below in the description. That will help you. Third, within 3 days before your flight to Bali, fill out your customs declaration online. So there's no more filling out a card with a pen and paper anymore. That's gone. You need to do it online. If you're going to Bali, it's best to fill out your customs declaration online before you go, before you leave home. This customs declaration needs to be filled out online now. If you don't do it online at home, when you get to the airport, you will need to get online. So you'll need to connect to data on your mobile phone, if you can do that at the airport or not. Or they actually had 3 computers set up there so you could hop online and do it at the airport. There are no paper forms for this anymore. So fill out your name, email, passport number, nationality, date of birth, occupation, the address where you'll be staying, place of arrival, and the flight number and the date of arrival. On the next page, you'll be filling out the normal stuff like do you have dangerous goods, explosives, plants, food, animals, all those normal questions will be on the next page. You cannot grab paper and pen and fill out your customs declaration to get into Indonesia and to Bali anymore. When you arrive at the airport, just near baggage claim, there's 4 computers set up. So you can hop online on those computers and fill it out there if you haven't done before, but you will have to wait for other people using those and make sure you've got all your details, and you can be a bit flustered at the airport and you don't want to be doing that. You want to grab your bags and you want to be off and getting out there. It's much faster and no waiting if you fill it out at home before you go. And when you fill it out, you'll be given a QR code. So make sure you have that QR code accessible when you get to the airport. Don't rely on having to get online to find that in an email. So what I do is I don't want to have to try and get online at the airport, connect to Wi-Fi, and it's a hassle. So I grabbed a screenshot of that QR code so I could bring it up out of my photos on my phone. But I also printed the QR code. So I had it on a piece of paper. For me, that was the easiest thing to do. Just grab out a piece of paper. I showed it to the customs. They scanned the QR code and through I went. So make sure you have that QR code accessible when you get to the airport. Ready to go. Fast track. Watch out for scams. When I was looking online for the customs declaration, I actually came across one that was going to ask me to pay for my customs declaration. You don't ever pay for a customs declaration. So make sure you get the right websites and you don't get caught up in any scams. Don't pay for a customs declaration. That's crazy. I'll put the links to the websites below in the description. That will help you. As an Australian, the best way I found to find the right websites, I went to the Australian Smart Traveller website to look at advice on travelling to Indonesia, and it had the links in there for all three, for the visa on arrival, for the tourist levy, and for the customs declaration. Enjoy and love Bali. Happy travelling!